right. Yeah. This week inside the New York Knicks, episode 13 of the 2024 offseason. We getting close to that regular season, y'all. It's the middle of September. Hopefully you guys are happy, man. I'm hyped, man. Salute to you if you in the building, yo. Salute to everybody tuning in. Salute to Knick Nation. Salute to everybody, the whole family, man. Listen, you already know it's a family affair. I got the soundboard cracking early, man. You now rocking with the most poppin' Knicks YouTube channel on the net. I am the Objective Fan, straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. And you know the vibes. Listen, got an action-packed pod for you, man. And if you're new to the pod, this week inside the New York Knicks is basically a pod documenting the Knicks 365, 7 days a week. You give me 50 minutes, I give you the Knicks. This pod was being streamed live via YouTube, but I went back to the pre-recording just for now. But we have live shows as well, and I will be bringing news live shows once the season starts. A couple of things I'm going to be doing. Definitely a live play-by-plays. I already heard that based off of I've been keeping track of the Dolan Adam Silver saga, and based off that conversation, the amount of national TV games which won't be featured on MSG has gone up from 12 to 15. So definitely we'll be doing the live pay-by-play. Oh, by the way, too, before I even get into it, I will be on Still Knicks Fans next week at 9 p.m. So, of course, I might just do a doubleheader of shows next week. Maybe we'll do the pod live, and then right after that, we'll go to Still Knicks Fans. So I'm kind of amped for that conversation there. Those brothers, salute to Ron, salute to John, salute to the brothers over there doing what they got to do. What about the trade rumors? We definitely will be talking about the new signings, right? Marcus Morris back in the Garden, Landry Shamet. We'll be talking about that. Of course, Randle's new role. And also, we'll get into some word on the street and more. You already know, man. This podcast is about just covering a lot of different topics. I got a couple of updates I'm working with the channel. I don't want to let out the bad. I know I keep saying that every week. One of the things I will commit to, guys, and I'm going to need your support, is I will be blogging. So this week inside the New York Knicks will be a weekly blog too. And of course, I'm working on that right now, but definitely down below, www.theobjectiveknicksfan.com to go check it out. Also, you can join the Discord server too. We have a 24/7 Knicks chat. I will be introducing some memberships to the channel. It's going to have some exclusive benefits, but right now, join the Knicks Tape Madness server. There's no charge to join the Discord Madness server. In fact, we have a free Knick hat giveaway, so be sure to join that and, help that community grow. I want to keep that community going, but I will also be adding memberships as well, guys. So it's a lot going on. This season is going to be a lot of things going on, and I'm going to do my part here on this channel. This is a Knick fan channel, so it's my job to enhance the fan experience, and that I will be doing all season long. So get at me on all the platforms, Twitter and all of that stuff. So let's jump into research mode, man. That's why you guys is here. I promise I'm going to keep you guys 50 minutes because this week wasn't the most action-packed week when it came to news, but we have a couple of things we have to get into. Like I said, we got some new people on the staff. I want to give a round of applause to Tyler Murray. Right, he will be joining the radio play-by-play staff. Hey, could I get a job? I want a job at MSG. Listen, man, I work 1 day a week, whatever they need me to do. I just want to be inside the guard. They need to get me in the guard, man. But no, salute to Tyler Murray, man. He's a lifelong Knicks fan. I think he was covering baseball or something like that. Yeah, he was the lead voice for the AAA Worcester Red Sox. Salute to him coming up in the game. I love seeing people come up in the game. Kings County, you already know how we give it up, y'all. Right? We always show love. That's what we about. We want to see growth and progression, right? To all the real ones out there, right? Like I always say, in this world, there's only players and haters. Which one are you? Two types of people in this world, players and haters. I'm a player appreciator. So I'm a certain type of player where I appreciate to see guys like Tyler doing his thing, 34 years old, representing for the 30-year-olds in the house. Salute to all the 30-year-olds in the house, right? He will be the new play-by-play announcer on the radio. I never got a chance to hear the guy before, but I definitely I'm looking forward to, check it out. Maybe I check out. Sometimes I like to listen to the radio broadcasters every now and then. I don't listen to it a lot, but if I'm on the go, I try to put it on radio. But now with our phones, we can watch the games, MSG Plus anywhere. So you don't even need to be at home nor on your TV to watch the games. But sometimes it is good and interesting to listen to the radio. I think you can catch the radio on the ESPN app as well if you want to, if you're on the go. But there's plenty of FM stations and stuff like that if you're on the go, if you prefer to listen to the game. Sometimes it is great watching them break down the action. But Monica McNutt, she's TV press, she's returning. So Monica McNutt is going to be back there. And so, yeah, it'll be cool to see how he fits into the scheme. But I just wanted to give him a salute. We starting off the show light. Some more good news for Knicks fans is salute to James Dolan. I say Jim Dolan. Some people were like, why do you say Jim Dolan? It was a typo somewhere. I don't know if he goes by Jim Dolan, but a couple of articles I saw referred to him as Jim Dolan. I always knew him as James Dolan. So that I joke when I say Jim Dolan. I'm pretty sure his name is James Dolan. But anyway, they got his picture up there. It says MSG Sports has reintroduced its Fans First Ticket Brokers program. Well, I'm sorry, Fans First and Ticket Brokers Last program, which it allows teams and registered fans exclusive access to tickets they want at face value. Fans deserve better than paying inflated ticket prices set by brokers. So I'm definitely going to be looking into that because I do want to get back into the Garden, right? Maybe I might take some of you guys with me. Get inside that Discord server, theobjectiveknicksfan.com, Knicks Take Madness Discord server. May have some insight on that, but definitely this is good news here. Those ticket prices are crazy. What I'm actually planning on doing, I think, because I have family all throughout the South. My family's all throughout the East Coast, from north to south. I got family in pretty much every state. So I'm thinking about seeing some family and catching the game, a Hornets game. Got a lot of salute to all of the North Carolina, the Carolina people in the building, right? I'm thinking about catching a Hornets game there. Hawks game in the ATL. Salute to the ATL. Of course, I'm talking to the Knicks diaspora. Those of you guys that may have been from the city, or not even from the city, but just live outside of New York. I'm definitely thinking about catching a Hawks game as well. So between those two places, I might even take the Indiana trip. I ain't gonna lie to you. Don't ask me why. But like 4 years ago, I was looking into getting tickets and I accidentally clicked on, I can't remember the name of the building. It probably wasn't that name of the building at the time because this was some years back. I clicked on the building and they had tickets for like $20-something, $40-something. I'm like, whoa, and these are good seats. I'm like, there's no way this could be right because, in the Garden, you want some good seats, you're going to be spending, $300-$400. So I'm looking to make trips. You might see me on the road. Maybe I make a road trip out of it, guys. But definitely, more than likely, I probably will be in Atlanta or the North Carolina area. I'll keep you guys posted for that. But definitely, I'm glad to see they got this program because these ticket prices are crazy, right? You come on, you guys are killing us a lot. It's already New York. To all my New Yorkers in the house, right? Definitely, if you listen up to this part of the video, shout out where you're from. Let me know where you're from. But you already know these prices are crazy. So let's see. The Knicks will be doing some scouting, right? Salute to the Knicks scouting department. They have done a great job, if you ask me, when it comes to the draft. Have we made mistakes? Yes. But I think that they have been on the money more times than not. So Perf, which is a team that I believe it's the team that the brother from the Wizards played on. His name escapes me. The second round pick, the second pick in the draft. Sar. I think he played with this team, right? So this team will be hosting 10 NBA teams, and the Knicks will be a part of that staff, right? And they're having their extravaganza down in Australia. Hoopfest, it will serve every NBL, WNBL team competing throughout Perth. And it's an 18-club championship, right? And basically, NBA Without Borders camp, it will take place. So it's some sort of joint collaboration between the two. With the NBL's opening round being played throughout the city, NBA scouts will be down there. So, yeah, like I said, Alex Sarr played in this thing last time, and that helped basically grow his stardom and his legacy as coming in. Because if you remember, Sarr was someone that was supposed to be the first pick in the draft, but then, of course, he slid down to 2 because of Ricochet. Hopefully I said his name right. You guys know I'm not the greatest with international names, but I'm working on it. I will get better at it. Some of the teams that's going to be down there is Portland, Oklahoma City, Philadelphia, Dallas, Utah, Wizards. So, hey, everybody, notice how, but look, check this out, though. Notice how OKC's down there, Dallas is down there, Portland, they've been making some good picks too, even though they didn't do a good job putting it together. But some of these teams are really good scouting. They've been drafting well, especially the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, hey, maybe the Knicks will find diamonds in the roughs, and it's looking like going forward due to the aprons that the second round picks will be valued at a very high rate. So, interesting stuff. Good time right now. Salute to you if you're still watching the pod. Got to salute the fans. First off, let me just say this. To those of you who got a lot of negative things to say about the fans, especially if you're a professional in the industry, do remember that you are a fan. And let me say this. If you are a professional in the industry, whether you're a player, whether you're an analyst or whoever you are, and you're not a fan, it says a lot. That's all. Because we see the work. Last week's pod lead topic or flagship topic was Julius Randle. And definitely, I want to highlight a recent quote that was attributed to Julius Randle, or not quote, maybe his sentiments as a player on this team. He's 29 years old, right? I do think his birthday's coming up. I do think he turns 30 this year or next year possibly, right? Can't remember. But he says here, one other thought, the 29-year-old will accept any role that's asked of him on this Knicks team if it leads to winning. So that's the quote, or that's the paraphrase statement that is used to describe how Julius Randle feels about his role on this team. So we talked about this. If it wasn't the last pod, I think it might have been the last pod, but it might have also been on Level Ahead of Knicks Talk, because Julius Randle has been a recurring theme since August 3rd, since he didn't, re-up and get his contract extension. Everything that we've been talking about and everything that we've been seeing up to Julius Randle, even up to the last weekend, that craziness where we didn't know if he was, feeling some way towards the team about the jerseys in the building. Of course, I jumped on top of that. And people are saying, but how do you know Randle didn't feel this way? And he posted these messages, and these messages are cryptic. We already got to the bottom of that. But the point that I'm saying is, with the excluding that fiasco, Julius Randle has shown nothing but love and appreciation for being a Knick. The team had great success with him in the lineup, right? I don't have the stats offhand. I did mention it last week on last week's pod, but basically the Knicks have a much better record with Randle in the lineup than without him. So to all you guys that believe the Knicks are going to win the championship and the Knicks are going to do all these great things, you do have to understand that the key towards reaching those goals and achievements will be Julius Randle. He has to be in the mix. He needs to be an all-star caliber player, even if he doesn't make the all-star team. It has to be like, dang, Julius Randle should have made the team. It has to be one of those, right? The man is willing to accept any role on the team. Honestly, I didn't even need to see this quote from SNY. I honestly, his moves and his actions, right? Him, being at the games, right, when he was able to, because he was working hard trying to rehab and come back during his shoulder injury. But his, willingness to be a part of what the team is trying to build. And I already said this 2 years ago. I said that Randle is a leader by example type of player. And he also confirmed that when he was on Podcast P with Paul George. He also confirmed that. So that's just his personality. That's his character. Jalen Brunson, on the other hand, is a point guard, and he likes to galvanize the troops. Randle is more so, follow me, look at what I'm doing and do what I do, right? So I think Julius Randle, him willing to accept any role, is very, very vital. As SNY noted early in the offseason, Randle has been excited about this team and believes the group can make the run. He's looking forward to being back healthy with the team and thinks things can be special with Bridges. He wants to win and win in New York, man. First off, salute to Julius Randle, right? And this is not news. This is not new news, because Randle already took a big hometown discount. There would be no Jalen Brunson if it wasn't for Julius Randle, right? Because Julius Randle, he laid the foundation for the Knicks in terms of having an all-star caliber player that they can use to build the team, right? Because they made the playoffs before Brunson got there. Salute to Brunson. We love Brunson. We know where Brunson took us, right? We know that we also didn't make the playoffs the year before Brunson got there. So I don't need to build Julius Randle and tear down another player on the team. First off, I'm not a part of no hive. I rock with, first of all, I ain't got my Knicks hat. I do got a Knicks hat right here, though. I keep Knicks hats on my desk. See that? This is what I ride with, y'all. Right? This is what I ride with. I got a new haircut. I didn't want to wear a hat. Okay, I wanted to get my fresh on. But I still bleed orange and blue, by the way. The links are definitely in this video. Check out the shop. shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com. Copy your shirt. I got more stuff I'm working on. Hey, guys, I'm a one-man show, so, but no worries. I'm going to get to it. I do have help. I do have my partner who in crime who helps me with everything. But I'm a one-man show in terms of being the content creator. So I got these things coming. Support the channel. A lot of things coming. But bringing it back to Julius Randle, I didn't want to lose my train of thought. You know, Julius Randle is the foundation that led to Brunson getting here. Now, if we can get an All-NBA first teamer, second teamer for Randle, and he's a better fit, I'm not going to say I'm going to be against it. But I'm not pushing for a trade right now. I think that right now, I want to see what we have. I want to see what we have. I know guys want to see trades and things of that nature, but I personally want to see what we have. So I don't want to see Randle go nowhere. But the man is looking forward to being with the team. That's all that matters to me. I think Randle, him accepting any role, I don't know why that would be surprising. You know, he went to Kentucky, right? When he was with the Pelicans, he played behind Anthony Davis and still was able to put up, I believe, 20 and 8 playing with AD. So he's clearly someone that has played with a guy who has more light than he has. And to the people that say it's not going to work, it's not going to fit, how do you know that? You don't have any evidence that the Knicks is better without Julius Randle. You can't say, oh, look, they won 50 wins. You forgot he was a major contributor to them getting the wins they got, because without him there, they wouldn't have been in a position to win 50 games, right? Those guys came in and worked hard, fought hard. First, though, salute to the Nova boys. Salute to Precious Achua. Salute to that guy that left to go to OKC. Now, I'm not going to throw no shade. Salute to Isaiah Hartenstein. He held it down, right? Salute to Mitch fighting to come back. Salute to OG Anunoby. Salute to all the guys. Deuce McBride. We can't forget about Deuce McBride, you know, playing 40-something plus minutes, you know, playing power forward, small forward, whatever the team needs. So it definitely was a collective effort. But those guys' valiant effort was done, you know, to help kind of bring or reinforce what Randle was doing when he was there. And they did a good job. But I think that the team would have been better with Randle. And a lot of you guys can't deny the fact that you saw what happened against Indiana. We lost. And the sentiments were, if we had Randle, we would have won. Oh, we got a G League trade. I'm not sure how many of you guys care about this, but Mamadi Diakite, he got traded to the Phoenix Valley Suns, and they got Theo Madeline and Travion Williams, G League trade. I don't know. I mean, I really have nothing much to say about that. Oh, I will be. I live in Westchester County, so I have to go to the Westchester. I don't know why I haven't been to a Westchester Knicks games. I'm bad at that. I'm literally right here. I'm not sure how far it is, but I'm in Westchester, so I have no excuse not to go. Okay? I mean, this past weekend, you already know it's like still summer weather out, so you still want to do summer-like things with the family. I've traveled like 80 miles to see family, going from one family house to another family. It's a party here, party there. So, yeah, I can go to a Westchester Knicks game. I will be going there, so they made a trade. Hopefully that makes them better. Right? I don't know. But I will be at the Westchester Knicks games. I'm going through the topics, y'all. You know, bear with me. I'm going to get to the flagship. Okay? I'm working my way there. There's a lot to talk about. This podcast is about documenting history. So when you guys look back, you guys know what's going on. So this is why I go through a lot of topics, even the ones that's not interesting like that. So I'm going to jump into some rumors that I got here. So I got Hoops Hype here is reported, or they quoting somebody. It looks like they're quoting ESPN's Brian Windhorst. So as far as backup centers and the trade deadline, I know that the Knicks talked to Atlanta this offseason about Clint Capella. I think I'm getting close to flagship. There's some things I need to address with the trade rumors. I know that's the flagship topic. Let me just make sure I'm on point. Well, the flagship topic, honestly, is the new signings, right, that was made. Will it trigger a trade? I'm going to talk about rumors right now, and I'm going to hint to some trade stuff, but I'm going to really unpack it later in the episode, so you have to stick around to watch that when I get the flagship. But a lot of these trades, like it says here, Clint Capella, we know that the issue with a lot of these trades is salary, right? The Rockets want to win now, so they may be, in a good place to also look for deals that may feature a guy like Clint Capella, right? I'd be surprised if the move inquire Adams. Adams is coming back. I don't know why they would trade Adams, but if I'm the Knicks, I'm not sure what Adams' salary is. So, yeah, I got Steven Adams' salary right here. Okay, so he's making $12.6 million, basically a Mitchell Robinson contract. So, Steven Adams said he has a Mitchell Robinson contract, but I do think if they're looking to move him, you might not have to give up a lot of assets for him. But let me continue to unpack this because there's some things I want to address, okay? There's definitely some things I want to address. I keep an eye out on Nick Richards. Now, to me, Nick Richards is someone that I think that we honestly could get. The Hornets don't really know what the heck they're doing, right? I'm gonna be nice. They don't really know what the world they're doing, so I think that Nick Richards is somebody that you could actually convince them in a trade. Now, what do they need? I don't know what Charlotte needs. I feel like they're all over the place. They got a good collection of players, but they don't really have a team. Maybe this year they can piece it together. I do like Bridges. I do like Miller. I do like Ball if Ball is healthy. But there's a lot of candidates there. But I like Nick Richards. I also like Walker Kessler. I'm letting you guys know right now that if we can convince Ainge to take whatever package we want, that does not include the core 8. But honestly, I might be more inclined to include one of these guys. I'm not going to say a name right now. But I might be inclined to include one of our core guys for Walker Kessler because I feel like he will definitely help us in what we need. But that's a whole nother topic for another time. And I'm going to touch on it a lot later. But Robert Williams, Jonas Valanciunas, and Steven Adams, the money doesn't match up. It really doesn't. But these are some of the rumors that are there. I guess you guys can let me know in the comments who you want. I might step on it a little bit because I'm letting you guys know right now that a lot of these trades are going to be pretty impossible. We are a first apron team, and we're hard capped at the second apron. I will jump more into the salary cap later because I don't want to take no thunder away from the flagship topic, but I'm just letting you know about these rumors. The two guys out, and we've been saying it all summer long, is definitely, I like Nick Richards, but I'm not willing to give up a hefty price for him. But I definitely like Walker Kessler, and the Utah is not using him right. Robert Williams is a guy, he makes around, all these guys make around the same ballpark. So to me, like being that these guys are pretty much the same, I mean, they're different styles of play as centers, but they pretty much serve the same purpose. Why would Portland trade Robert Williams for Jonas Valanciunas? Or why would I trade Steven Adams for Robert Williams when they both have been hurt? Right? You see, like a lot of these moves don't even really make sense. So, but these are some of the centers that have been rumored to be on the move. So we'll keep an eye out on them. We'll keep it moving. Let me see if there's anything I'm missing. I don't want to talk about this. They was trying to say here, this is the boredom of the dog days of summer, right? Even though kids are back in school, it's still summertime technically. And O'Shea Brissett and Jaylen Brown was at New York Fashion Week. So they try to say, oh, what does this mean? Do they want to be with the Knicks? It's crazy stuff. New York Fashion Week is one of the biggest tourist attractions that bring people from all across the world to New York. So I doubt that means that they won't want to do the trade. Of course, now Robert Williams, when we talk about a trade for him, like I said, he also makes in that $12 million range. It's going to be hard to make these moves happen. But this is a poll. I mean, I guess, does Robert Williams, the third trade, will it bolster the Knicks' title hopes? It depends. I'm going to say it depends who you trade for him, because who you're going to have to trade for him more than likely will be a key guy. I'm going to say it like that off the top of the head. But they're trying to say, and this is what I don't like, and I'll talk about this. The team lost that guy that went to OKC, Isaiah Hartenstein, and the $87 million deal, which is really 2-year, $58. If you disagree with my perspective on Isaiah Hartenstein, first, you got to go watch my video. I did a video, I think it's 12, 13 minutes, breaking it down. And then you could come back and we can have this discussion. But you got to watch that video first. But yeah, Mitchell Robinson left. So they're trying to say it's a big hole. Half of these writers didn't even know who Isaiah Hartenstein was like that. I'm not saying the guy who wrote this article. I'm just saying half of these guys that's talking about Isaiah Hartenstein today didn't even know who he was. So kill me with the Isaiah Hartenstein rhetoric, right? I'm tired of it, right? You guys don't even know who he is. But they're trying to say the void that he left and Mitchell Robinson's health. But we still have Precious Achiuwa and Jericho Sims. Are you going to blow it up just to get a guy like a Robert Williams who might not even be there? I don't know. Injuries is a concern for both he and Mitchell Robinson, right? But when they're on the floor, they're very, very effective. I'm gonna jump back into the trade stuff a little later. I'm gonna keep moving. Once I get the flagship, don't worry, guys. I will break all of this trade stuff down and show you why it doesn't make sense. I actually did even more reading because I want to make sure when I get on this microphone, I know what I'm talking about. So salute to me. That's why you guys are here. You know when I give you the perspective, it's coming from a place of facts. This is why I stay in research mode. I don't add nothing to it. I show you exactly the articles and the sources that I use to get my information, and then I give an informed opinion from that point. How many creators can tell you that they do that? So look, we're going to jump into this James Dolan. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, right? Because salute to both Dolan and salute to Oakley, right? Oakley is one of my top 3 favorite Knicks from the 90s. So, and I like everybody in the 90s. But Charles Oakley was one of my favorites. I love the way he played, that heart, that grit, enforcer, not backing down. That's something that every team needs, even today, even in the modern game. You need a guy that can give you that Oakley style, but just, with an updated version of their games. But if you guys didn't know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know, I'm not going to play the video, but if you want to see the video, again, this is the incident with the police and Oakley, and it was a nasty scenario. I wish it never happened, right? But it did, and I'm riding with both Oakley and Dolan because I feel like they both have points in this whole thing, right? Now, of course, I'm going to say off the rip, because we know what Charles Oakley did for this organization, there's no reason that man should be treated like that and ejected. I don't, Now, I did hear that Oakley did strike a security guard first. I did hear that. Wasn't there, not sure, but you can't put your hands on personnel because now that's going to, trigger an aggressive response. But whoever's right or wrong, that the court will decide that. Like I said, I'm riding with both sides on this, and I don't think Oakley should have been dragged out. But James Dolan, he had to go in and, pretty much give a deposition, right? And Dolan, he had a courtside seat. Oh, they're talking about the action. Okay, in the latest twist, Manhattan federal judge Richard Sullivan ordered Dolan to sit for this deposition to give his firsthand account. Oakley, who's age 60, by the way. Wow, time flies. I remember when Oakley was like just turning 30. Oh, my God. Or at least turning. Yeah, I remember when he, damn. Anyway, he ended up hauled out of the arena in handcuffs, tussled with security guards during the game against the Clippers. So, and of course, he had the courtside seat, so that's why they called him in for the deposition. And that's all. That's all. I'm not going to weigh in anymore. I just want to report on the news because that's what this is about. Man, he just told his side of the story. So, this lawsuit is in progress, and that's all I have to say about that. We'll see what the results are, but I hope that, I would love to see Oakley in the Garden, man. I really would love to see Oakley back in the Garden. It's a shame that we see damn near everybody from the 90s there, and Oakley's not there. That has to be rectified. Some of you guys may feel away either way, but I'm just going to say, salute to both these guys. Our owner, James Dolan, and salute to Charles Oakley, the legend. Right, he's a legend in New York, on the New York side of things. Maybe not on the NBA side of things, but when you ask Knicks fans who was around about Charles Oakley, they're going to tell you that man was a legend. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to move forward. Also, since we're on the James Dolan train, and I kind of talked about it a little bit, but this is a couple of updates. Now, I covered this last week a little bit, but Adam Silver, he gave his response. The NBA proposed operating budget that has increased by nearly 8%, and Dolan is not happy about that year over year. And the league board of governors were not adequately briefed on the candidates to replace Larry Tannenbaum as the BOG chair ahead of the election, right? So these concerns were highlighted in the letter because we talked about the letter last week. So yeah, Dolan was not happy about the increased budget. So I think I have another quote here. This is the second time this offseason Dolan has criticized the NBA for escalating expenses. He pointed out that several league incentives, including the in-season tournament, the WNBA, the G League, and Basketball Africa League, remain unprofitable. Ooh. According to league source, Dolan's letter specifically referenced the in-season tournament, noting that it cost far exceed its revenue. Really? I didn't know that. How do you guys knew that the in-season tournament is not really generating bread? But it's the first one. Now entering the second year, these investments, while unprofitable, part of the NBA's broader strategy to grow the league's influence. You know, in a world where it was just all about the bottom line and no morals and ethics, the WNBA would have been folded, and there would be no G League, nor would there be Basketball Africa League, because it doesn't really generate the money. Now, I'm leaning toward the NBA side a little bit, because I think that the in-season tournament is exciting. It's something that's starting out, give it a time to grow, and then eventually, maybe by the time you get to year 5, it could become profitable. Dolan knows when you start a new business, it typically takes 5 years for it to turn a profit, right? I've been doing, content creating for a while. And now I'm starting to get, see the fruits of my labor, not just on the Knicks side. I got a couple of different things I do, but it takes time to grow in your business, right? Now, as far as the WNBA, definitely there wouldn't be no WNBA. The G League is great because it gives guys the opportunity to become a pro. How many guys we've seen come through the G League system? So, and then Basketball Africa League, look at what's going on in South Sudan. I think that South Sudan will be a hotbed for NBA talent as they grow. Starting with Luau Deng doing what he's doing. They're getting funding and building courts and programs and things of that nature. You're going to start to see more, even though half of I think the European players are probably African anyway. Like you got Schroeder, you got the Greek Freak, right? So there's a lot of Europeans that are like from African descent, right? Whether it's directly or just some sort of ancestral lineage. I think that, Basketball Africa is good for growing the world. But, Dolan is like, yo, bottom line, we're losing money. And then to add to that, they're trying to cut out the local television. We talked about that before in the last episode. If you want to know more about that, definitely watch last week's episode. And Dolan also contends that all teams should have access to the same financial data as the audit committee, particularly being asked to approve a new budget. So he's saying they don't even have the insight to really make a vote. So Dolan, hey, he's a good, stern businessman. And he's like, yo, things have got to change, and I'm not going to sign off on certain things. I think he was a part of, when I talked about the chair, I think he was the chair of the board of governors before, or he was in charge of the finances. He had a high position, but he stepped down because he was like, yo, I'm not agreeing with the direction that you guys are going in. So, Dolan is definitely somebody who's a stickler, and he knows his business. That's one thing you can't take away from that man. So he's like, this is what it should be. This is a little bit above my pay grade. I'm just reporting the news this week inside the New York Knicks. Dolan has made the headlines, so I'm not going to shy away when he does, but I'm just going to tell you what it is, and then we're going to keep it moving. So now if you're watching, a salute to you if you made it up to this point. Definitely, like I said, if you want to connect with me more, definitely join the Discord. Knicks Tape Madness. You can do it by clicking the link below. Also, check me out on all the other social media. I'm on TikTok, IG, Threads, all of those Facebook, all of those platforms. The Objective Knicks Fan. No special names, no hyphenate, nothing. Straight The Objective Knicks Fan, right? Now, my Twitter account, X is where it's at, right? I used to be really big on X. I just want to spend some time talking about my X. Now, I used to be a Twitter guru back in like 2017. I had a multitude of accounts that had multitudes of thousands of followers. So my TOF on Fire account was from an old account that I used to use called PM Promotions. That's the name of one of my companies, right? So, and I was in the entertainment industry. So I transformed that account into TOF on Fire, and I'm still making changes to it. But that's why it has the following it has. It's an account that I used to do. I used to be in the entertainment industry, heavy with that account, but I shifted it to sports. So just to give you guys a head up, but my TOF on Fire, I'm getting multitudes of followers every day, anywhere from 5 to 10 followers a day. Definitely get at me on X, TOF on Fire. That's the only place where it's not the same And I would love to connect with you on there. Also, a good place to reach out for me if you want to talk business as well. So now I'm going to jump into the new signings, and we're going to get into flagship. So first off, salute the Knick Nation. Nation is a very, very polarizing group. The reason why I say that is because Knick Nation, I look at it as we have the most fans. So when you have the most of something, that means you're going to have the most educated fans, right? And salute the Knick Nation. We got some of the smartest fans in the world. You can't pull nothing on these guys. Trust me, they come for me. But I'm on point. But these guys be coming for me on TikTok. Oh, boy. But then on the flip side, you also got some of the most ignorant fans. I'm going to say it nicely. The most ignorant fans, right? And they don't really know nothing about basketball. So there's been a lot of misinformation. There's been a lot of misunderstanding. A lot of conversation is on the jobs of the informed Knick fan to educate the least informed Knick fan. And that's what this is about here. So as you can see, the Knicks, they signed Landry Shamet to Exhibit 9 deal. Let's start with Exhibit 9 deal. Exhibit 9, Exhibit 10, basically the same except for one key difference. So both Exhibit 9 and Exhibit 10 are basically a non-guaranteed contract that's usually signed by players entering a team's roster, but only realistically for training camp purposes, because during training camp, a team is allowed to carry up to 21 players. So typically that'll be 15 guys guaranteed on the contract, which we only have 14. Landry Shamet and Marcus Morris. We're going to get to Marcus Morris. I believe he's the next one up. Both these guys don't have guaranteed contracts, right? So these contracts are only guaranteed if they make it. See, that's Marcus Morris there. So they're only guaranteed if the team makes it to, if the player makes it up to January, right, on the team. Now, it's common, very common for the Knicks, and by the way, this is flagship, so I'm going to get into the trade stuff, okay? But let me unpack this first, because a lot of people really don't understand what it means. So Exhibit 9 and Exhibit 10, basically non-guaranteed contracts. It's normally typically signed heading into training camp. Got that? Now, I'm gonna use an example from last year. Let me hold on before I move on. As far as Marcus Morris, I think he might be the strongest candidate to make the team. I was happy to see him get an Exhibit 9 contract because I feel like we definitely need a center. But this man right here is a hooper. He's bona fide. He had a great game last year. I believe it was the elimination game that they played against Boston where he had to fill in because they had a lot of injuries with Allen and even Donovan Mitchell got hurt too. And he came in and he was a force. He was a force, right? He's still a bucket getter in spurts when you need buckets from a guy off the bench. Is he a starting caliber player right now? Not really. But can he come in and play 15 to 20 solid minutes? Perfect. Can he start a game in the playoff? Unfortunately, if Randle goes down, not that we wishing that upon him, but he is the perfect. First off, salute to Leon Rose, right? We got to salute the Leon Rose because he shored up every trouble spot we had last year. And I'm going to even say including the center spot because he brought back Precious Achiuwa, who gave us solid minutes at the 4-5 last year. Was he better at the 4 than he was at the 5? Yes. But at the same time, Precious Achiuwa is a guy who's been here at least for half a season and kind of knows how Tibbs wants to do his thing. And he's someone that could fit in well. He's a low ego guy. Jericho Sims, same thing. Been here for a little while now. Knows the system. He's going to be healthy entering training camp for the first time in a long time or throughout his career. That's what I had an article say about Jericho Sims, right? So maybe he did reassure the 5 spot. And also, we know we still have one roster spot left. And then, of course, December 15th, that's when you open up the trade rookies and free agents. So Leon Rose deserves a lot of credit because he shored up an OG Anunoby injury. If OG, hopefully this doesn't happen, but if he gets hurt, Mikal Bridges slides right into a spot. He's shoring up his moves. Marcus Morris is a Julius Randle insurance signing, right? Of course, because it's an Exhibit 9 deal, right? It's not guaranteed. So just because he gets this deal doesn't mean he makes it to the team, but I do think he has a great chance of making the team. Now, let me say this. There's difference between, because I want to make sure I illuminate this. The difference between Exhibit 9 and an Exhibit 10 contract. I don't think we have any Exhibit 10s on the team right now. Hold on, I'm going to pull up because I got it here. Yeah, I'm cocked and loaded in research mode, y'all. E9, no E10. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Chuma Okeke. See this kid right here? Me get my head out the way. I'm going to highlight it. See this right here? Perfect. So I got my mouse over it. This Chume Okoke or Okeke, all right, he's on Exhibit 10. What's the difference between Exhibit 9 and Exhibit 10? Exhibit 10 gives the player an option to sign with the G League team, which would be the Knicks G League team. So if he doesn't make the actual team, he gets a deal with the G League team. But get this, he also get a $75,000 kicker bonus added if he signs with the Knicks and not another team. So that's what the Exhibit 10 deal is. Of course, we know Landry Shamet and definitely Marcus Morris are more like veterans, so they're not going to sign Exhibit 10 deals because they're not looking to go to the G League. That's the only difference between Exhibit 10 and Exhibit 9. So now that we know what that is, and we're in the right place right now, I want to show you why the trade, and I did a poll, and I'm going to get to that. Matter of fact, since we're here, let's pull it up now. Because I'm on point. I already told you guys I'm on point, right? All right, so this is the poll that we did today. We got 75 votes. Let me refresh it. We might got more votes than that. Let's see. Okay, so we received 82 votes, right? And basically, I was asking the question because I have conversation with Knicks fans every day on a multitude of different platforms. I'm on Facebook. I'm on X. I'm on IG. Not as active on IG, but I'm on X a lot. I'm on X probably the most, but I'm also on YouTube and I'm on Facebook. So I'm having conversations with fans. I'm in groups. I have to be in maybe 40 Knicks groups. But I'm not active in them. I just watch the conversations. A lot of people honestly believe that, especially Marcus Morris signing, they believe that a trade is imminent. So that's why I say I want to come to ask my level-headed Knicks fans. By the way, salute to you if you're a level-headed Knicks fan. Right? So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think about this stuff? And we got 82 votes. So Marcus Morris and Landry Shamet, they entered training camp to Exhibit 9 deals. I put 10 by 4. See, I am human. Exhibit 9 deals. But okay, do you believe that a trade is imminent? No, I don't. But 55% of you do. That's what I'm gonna do. I gotta correct this. They signed Exhibit 9 deals. My bad, y'all. But Knicks fans believe a trade. This means a trade is imminent. Let me show you why some of the guys that you want is not possible. I'm gonna start off with the salary cap. Salute to you if you've been watching the channel because you know I did this before, but I'm gonna give you a little bit more insight because things have changed, right? Now, what hasn't changed is this. We are locked at the second apron, y'all. You see this lock right here? Hold on, let me scroll up. We are locked, meaning we cannot exceed this number. We are hard cap. We cannot go over 188, not even to sign our own free agents. We are locked at this number. We cannot break it. It's like a glass shield. It's like a football cap, right? It's like a football hard cap. We are locked at this hard cap. Can't break it for no reason. Okay, cool. Why is that important? As you can see right here, this right here tells you, I love Sports Track because it gives you all the insight if you know how to read and know where to find the insight. We have $7 million space. $7 million in space. Why? Because they're going by our total allocations. Why? Let me tell you why. So right now, until we clear our cap holds, which total cap holds is 184, but those two of those cap holds are basically two-way guys. They don't really count. They're going to be moved anyway. But I'm going to explain it simple because there's a little complexity to this, but it's simple. This is the actual number we spent right now on our active roster, this 179. 179, $185 million. That's real, okay? Now, look, the reason why it's 181 is because they're counting Daquan Jeffries' money. So all these guys up here with salary, see all these cap hits, right? This is what is being counted, and Daquan Jeffries, that's what makes it 181. So until they clear his cap hold, because Daquan Jeffries has not been signed by another NBA team. So until the Knicks decide to clear his cap hold. And also, he more than likely probably will be entering training camp too. I don't know. 900 on that. I think Charlie Brown is gone. Dwayne Washington, I think, signed somewhere overseas. But Daquan Jeffries is the only one left. But these guys are on two-way contracts anyway. So that's why there's no real cap hold for them. It's just this $3 million figure they came up with. Don't ask me why. That's how they got to 180 and 184. But the real number until they clear Daquan Jeffries' cap hold, and all the cap hold is it's like a number to help prevent teams from just loading up on free agents, right? Because if I don't count like LeBron, let's say I got LeBron James as a free agent and I don't sign him and I don't count his money, then that gives teams a lot more money to just sign guys and load up and then go over the luxury tax to pay LeBron. So this is a way to kind of like check and balance that so teams can't just overdo it and abuse it, right? Like I used to do this in 2K, the old 2K, not the new one. I used to, wait till like the last day to sign my free agents and load up on all of the team's free agents, all of the other free agents that's out there, and then sign my free agent because they got bird rights. So this is kind of like, it's like a tentative cap to limit, cheat codes. That's the best way to put it. So that's why this number is 181. It's really 179. It's not 181. It's 179. Now, look, right now, we've got Morris, right? Morris is here, right? Morris has a base salary of $3 million. So he basically got the veteran minimum, right? If this money only will count against the cap and become a cap hit after January 10th. Or January, wherever that deadline is in January, that's when this number will show up on our cap hit. Okay? Right now, it's not showing up. Or it might even show up, too, if the Knicks decide to sign him right away. They pretty much upgrade the exhibit contract to a guaranteed contract, which is possible, right? But I want to show you guys something else. Because you see right here, they got the types of contracts. Okay? So look, you got the type, right? Now, you have 1, 2, 3 down here. Hold on, let me scroll down so you can see it. So we got 3 exhibit contracts. Chume, Marcus Morris, and Shamet. Okay? Now, if you minus those 3 contracts, because it's saying here we got, how many players? 20 right here. You minus those 3 contracts, that'll leave us with 17. 17 players under contract going into the training camp. Now, remember, you get 3 two-ways and 15 regulars. We got 3 two-ways and 14 regulars. So off the rip, we know that they could sign one of these exhibits, whether it's Marcus Morris, whether it's Chume, whether it's Landry Shamet. So let's say they want to keep Landry Shamet and Marcus Morris, which I think is a very strong possibility. They will do it. Here's what they can do. Now, Marcus Morris and Landry Shamet, we know they're not going to the G League. Not going to the G League. Okay, cool. So that means that they would have to either trade one of their other guaranteed contracts away. But remember, we are also first apron team. First apron teams have certain restrictions, okay? Now, I'm just showing you why signing these guys don't need a trade, right? Now, look, Shamet's veteran minimum is a little different. It's a little less than Marcus Morris, 2.6. The Knicks have more than enough cap space to accommodate one of those guys because they have one roster spot available and they still have the exception money, which they never use, but these are minimum, so it wouldn't even count towards the exception. So the Knicks will be within their, salary requirements as a first apron team. Now, the only issue is you have 2 guys you want to sign, right? 2 guys you want to sign. So what can they do to keep? They already got 1 spot, but you got 2 guys. The one thing you could do off rip is you can waive Keada Bates-Diop. You see him right here? I got the mouse pointer. He's above my head. Keada Bates-Diop's contract, it's only a 1-year contract. You could waive his contract. You could also waive, well, I don't think they're not going to want to waive anybody else because everyone else is pretty much core guys, right? Matter of fact, let's sort it by money. So, okay, perfect. So, yeah, I got it sorted by money, the highest to the lowest, okay? So we know none of the higher guys is going to be waived. So if you want to waive, like I said, Keata Bates-Diop and sign Morris and Shamet. No trade needed. Guys with me? Very simple. Just waive Keata Bates-Diop. Now, you could waive Jericho Sims. I don't think they want to do that. I don't think they could waive Jericho Sims right now because I think he had an option anyway. But we already know they're not going to waive Jericho Sims. They could waive Campaign. I think they could waive Campaign, but you know they're not going to waive Campaign because Campaign's coming in and he's going to be willing to sit. Of course, Tyler Kolek, Pacome Dadier, that's the rookies. They're not doing it. So the easy fix is waive Joe. No trade needed. So I just wanted to just debunk this whole they have to trade guys. Now, to go back, since I debunked that, I do want to talk about some of these other rumors right quick, right? So we know where we stand. We know that our cap hold, forget the total cap allocations. This is the number they're going with right now. This is the real number, 179. This is the number they're giving us, 181, right? So remember these three numbers, 179 million, 181 million, right? And 188 million. We can't go above that. But nothing. Now, some of you guys, because I got some smart Knicks fans, you're going to say, well, the Knicks, they have trade exceptions. And I'm going to explain what a trade exception is. See this right here? These are trade exceptions. Trade. These are exceptions, right? All the exceptions. You got the mid-level pay exception, which we have. You see it's available right here, $12 million. We never used it. It wouldn't be $12 million because we're hard capped. So it would be the difference between 179 and 188. About $9 million we would have to sign a free agent, right? And we also have our biannual, but honestly, we don't have enough money for that. So it would just be, we could sign a player up until $9 million. That's over. There are no free agents that we're going to sign for that. But I'm just showing the exceptions that we have, right? Then you have these are exceptions like the sign players. These are exceptions to trades that you get when you make a trade. So what happened was when they traded R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley, right? The Knicks basically traded less salary for more salary, right? So that's how they were able to get these exceptions. They got $5 million from the RJ trade, and then Malachi Flynn, when they traded him with Detroit, even though there was a multiplayer trade, but they're showing him as a trade because I believe this was his salary. So his salary became an exception because the Knicks took less money than they sent out. Now, under normal circumstances, this right here would be enough for the Knicks to go out and trade for somebody. Because if you add these two exceptions up, it's about $10 million right here, right? Or $9 million. So that would mean that they would have $9 million of free money they could trade. And then you add a player like Jope, right? You could add Jope or you could add Sims, right? And then you add that $9 million in exception money, you add the two. Now you have $11 million or $12 million or $14 million, depending on whose salary you want to match with it. Then you could do a trade for Steven Adams, right? Wrong. Let me explain why. I'm just doing this for the smart Knicks fans. The reason why you can't do that is because there's a rule here, and hopefully I'm taking my time. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit more. Now, the NBA has these aprons, right? And I was talking about it. I just want to give a little clarity for the aprons. The reason why the aprons are dangerous for teams like the Knicks and other contending teams is because it has a lot of restrictions. The Knicks became a first apron team, right? When we passed this number here. You see this first apron maximum, right? That's when we surpassed it. So the 178, as you can see it right there, right? Once we surpassed it, that's when we became a first apron team. What will turn us into a second apron team, we can't even become a second apron team, right? Salute to Leon Rose for the great job. So we couldn't even become a second apron team because we would have to pass the 188. So we are a first apron team. Now, being a first apron team is less harsh restrictions than being a second apron team, right? But here is the reason why the Knicks are not going to be able to do none of the trades that you want, okay? So let me explain it, okay? So yeah, it's showing you these are the second apron teams this year, right? So some of these teams have players that you have. If you got to look at the aprons to see if Boston has a player you want, you got to check. Warriors have a player you want, you got to check. Clippers, Suns, right? Good luck trying to trade a player on that team, right? All right, cool. So check this out. So first apron, right? Approximately 126% 126.7% of salary cap, right, comes with its own share of restrictions. First April teams can no longer, check this out, sign bought-out players, right, who made more than the non-taxpayer exception, which is the $12.8 million. So let's say, for example, this is not accurate. This is an example. Let's say Steven Adams made $14 million and he was bought out. Us as first April teams, we couldn't sign him. So gone are the days where somebody comes off the waiver wire, a big name player gets waived, like Rasheed Wallace goes to Detroit and gets waived. No, you're not going to be able to do it, right? First April teams can't take back more salary than they send out in a trade. So that's an old school tactic. So perfect example. You got teams that have money like Brooklyn, for example, right? So let's say we want to trade. This is for example purposes. Let's say we want to trade Jericho Sims, and hypothetically speaking, he makes $10 million. We cannot trade Jericho Sims for Nick Claxton if Nick Claxton makes $3 million. You can't do that. You have to take on the same amount of money. I believe it's within 110%. So you can't do that. Now look, they also can't take back more salary, right? And they can't use the trade exceptions that was created the season prior. I did this for the smart Knicks fans. So first April teams, they cannot use the exceptions that were created the season prior. And let me show you what I was talking about for the people that are smart, but just miss that fine detail. These exceptions cannot be used. Remember, last year RJ trade, last year Flynn trade. Can't use it, right? So the moves that you want to see the Knicks make, the only way they can make these moves, I'm going to tell you the players they're going to have to trade. Precious Achiuwa, but you got to wait till December to do it. Dante DiVincenzo. How many of you guys want to trade Dante DiVincenzo? Mitchell Robinson. I know a lot of guys you want to trade Mitchell Robinson. You're going to have to move those two guys and maybe even Deuce to get some of the guys that you want because the money does not match. You have to match money. You cannot just trade guys because you think that you're just a GM on an internet site. There's a lot of rules and restrictions, but I do think some of those sites do help with the rules and stuff like that. They'll show you who you can trade and who you can't trade. But we know for a fact that the Knicks are a first apron team. So a lot of these moves that you want to get done, you're going to have to trade a Dante DiVincenzo, a Mitchell Robinson, right? So a lot of restrictions with the aprons, y'all. But when I tell you the players that you can get, some of you guys don't like him, like a Walker Kessler. He's on a rookie scale contract. So basically a Deuce McBride trade or Jericho Sims and Pacome Dadier. Package them two for Walker Kessler because Walker Kessler makes around $3 million. Those are the type of deals you're going to have to do. And even still is going to be hard because I don't think that you can do aggregates too, just to balance money. So it's a lot of complicated stuff. When I say aggregates, meaning trade 3 players for 1. Can't do that. So yeah, just to bring some light home. I'm going to jump in the word of the street. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, definitely send me a message in the comments and we'll talk about it. So we already did the first one. I'm going to do a couple of these because I don't want to make this episode too long. I know I got to edit it down. If OG Anunoby plays a minimum of 65 games during this upcoming season, what chance would he have to be Defensive Player of the Year? I'd say a great chance. 393 votes. We got 78% of Knicks fans say great chance. 17% of Knicks fans say small chance. 3% say no chance. I'm going to tell you this. I understand Wemby's there. Wemby is probably going to be the favorite to win the Defensive Player of the Year award, right? But I think that team success and the high hopes, we talking about 60 wins for the Knicks, right? Watch that Level-Headed Knicks Talk episode, by the way, if you missed it. That was one of my best episodes, the bold predictions for this upcoming season. I talked about, the 65 wins or 60 wins and OG Anunoby playing 65 games and just his success on plus minus and just the overall net rating and defensive efficiencies and all these things. You got to look at that too when you look at the prospects of him becoming Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think it's always about the person who is the best defender, right? So that's my take on that. So that Knicks fans are pretty confident he can win it. Did Hoops Hype get it correct? Is Julius Randle ranked 38 or all time on? I'm sorry, Julius Randle's ranked 38 on the top 100 list. Is it correct? We had 297 votes. I'm gonna say no. He should be ranked higher. 65% of Knicks fans who voted, they say he should be ranked higher. 29% say yes, he's number 38 is correct. And 6% say no, he should be ranked lower. You know why these polls are pretty important too? Because I just want to show people that Randle gets a lot of love. The hate, it comes from just a few Knicks fans. That's why I do some of these polls. I want to expose Knicks fans that are just not logical and they're too emotional. Nothing wrong with being emotional, but just too emotional. Okay? Did Hoops Hype get it correct? Is Jalen Brunson ranked number 8 on the NBA top 100 list? I'm going to say yes. I think that he jumped up, 26 spots? I think he was ranked 34 on the list. But yeah, he moved up, I believe, 26 spots from the previous year. I think that him getting in the top 10 is just a win in itself. But look at this. Out of the 252 votes, 66% say yes. 31 say he should be ranked higher. So yeah, these Knicks fans believe in Jalen Brunson. And only 4% say he should be ranked lower. I don't understand that. Final one I'll do Precious Achiuwa. So basically I ask, is he going to be a season-long rotational piece, or is he December 15 trade bait? So we got 190 votes, right? And I'm going to say he's going to be a season-long rotational piece. Look at how divided the family is on this. 50% believe he's trade bait. 44% say he's a season-long rotational piece. And 6% say they don't know. I'm going to say I think it depends on how well the efficiency is coming from the 4-5 spot. I do think having Marcus Morris there is going to put some pressure, especially if he signs with the team, because Marcus Morris is somebody that's going to go hard. He's a professional. He's a veteran. He can hoop. So I think that just having a guy like that around is going to be beneficial. And he has a good relationship with Randle, right? He and Randle were pretty cool. So I think that Precious Achiuwa does have a short leash. I think that if he's not producing, he could find himself on the bench. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to be traded, because a guy who could play the 4-5 and really do well at the 4, I don't think that's a guy that you trade unless you're really getting upgrades at the 4-5 spot. That's the only way it would make sense. You're not going to trade Precious Achiuwa for a 2-guard. You're going to trade Precious Achiuwa for a guy who's capable of starting at the 4-5 if you need him. So that's my take on Precious Achiuwa. That's word on the street. So to wrap up the pod, man, I went a little over the 50 minutes, but it's cool. I just wanted to make sure I cover all bases, man. I want to thank you guys once again for rocking with me, and I'll come out of research mode. I want to thank you guys for rocking with me, man. You know, been another great episode, great pod. Level-headed Knicks talk will return this Wednesday. Don't have a topic offhand, but I'm pretty sure something will come up. A couple of days, I do have an idea for a show, but I want to see what else happens. So look out for Level-headed Knicks talk this Wednesday. Anything else I want to share? Oh, I will be on Still Knicks fans. Salute the Still Knicks fans. Definitely go subscribe over there. Also, guys, I didn't mention this the whole pod. I'm close to 1,000 subscribers. You guys need to get out there, put the word out there, share the channel, let other Knicks fans know the objective Knicks fans is here to stay. And I'm about to be at the 1,000 subscriber mark, man. Help a brother out, man. Help me get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, man. Don't forget to subscribe. That's all for this pod, man. And until next time, go Knicks.